Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the video podcast, guys.
Welcome to our first video podcast. If you're listening on audio, go to YouTube because we're releasing a video with this one.
And I'm gonna try to put it on Spotify too.
Mm-hmm.
Update you later if that's gonna be on Spotify, but it will definitely be on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
this was pulled together very last minute.
It was. We got new microphones.
Yeah, we got new microphones, and that's kind of what inspired us to do a video podcast too.
Yeah.
And if you see this painting in the background here, I actually painted that myself. Like in an hour, right before we started this. So
I think it might still be wet. So
a little bit.
But look how good it looks, everybody.
So
round of applause for that because I could never do that.
We
have our Mothman Lego that we built here. If you're watching the video, we also have a magic 8-ball in case we need to ask some important questions.
Yeah.
You never know.
So
yeah, you never know. But anyway, Savannah, you know how we always start with a movie review.
Yes.
Well, guys,
we have a very good movie review.
We do. If you listened last week, I covered unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
Literally only because we were going to see Death of a Unicorn.
Yeah.
And I love that movie. It was so good.
It was really cute. It was a good movie.
It was so good. And I also saw that A24 is selling a unicorn horn lava lamp. And it's white and purple. And it lights up.
Oh my God. Lava lamp?
Want it. Yeah. But it's a unicorn horn.
I mean, that's cool.
Like, imagine how cool it would be right here, guys.
Yeah.
Might have to get it.
That would be cool.
We'll see about that. But yeah. So I don't want to spoil the movie, but it was really...
Are you going to give a review? Or...
It just came out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when this comes out, it will be out for a long time.
Yeah. We can just do like a number.
Okay.
1 to 10. What do you
9.
think? 9?
Maybe an 8.5.
I'm gonna... I mean, go with your gut, obviously.
No, I think 8.5.
8.5? Okay. I'm gonna say 8. A little bit lower than yours, but...
Yeah. No, it was great.
It was still good.
It was so funny. It was really funny.
Yeah.
I loved it. And we saw it in like a sold out theater, which it normally isn't. And also when we went into that movie theater, the line was out the door.
It was. Yeah.
I mean, I was happy for the theater to see that.
Yeah.
But
it definitely had to do with like the movie we were seeing and probably Snow White too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
There were so many people there. I could not get over it at all. Also, one more thing about our microphones, because I just saw, we can pick the freaking color of the microphone. I got purple.
Yeah, and mine's pink.
So cute. Sorry for those not watching. You can't see the cool light on the microphone, so you're going to have to go see it. Okay, also, important note. Very important note. It is my car, Stacy's first birthday.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday,
we
Stacy.
Love that.
I know. I am so ready to be done paying for her. And I'm nowhere close. Yeah. Cars are expensive, okay? But I do love her. I do. Yeah. But at the same time, I have to say rest in peace to Janice, because it's also been a year since I totaled my favorite car. If you don't know, it was a 2015 green Kia Soul named Janice.
We loved her.
She was great. She traveled the world. But
seriously.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
But now it's Stacy. So love Stacy. But yeah. Other than that, if you don't mind, go please rate and review us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. But unless you have something else you want to get into your story, Savannah.
Yeah, let's get into it. So this episode, I have something I think we both sort of knew of, but I don't know. I mean, I never dove that deep into it. The Fermi paradox.
My friend's cat is named Fermi, actually.
Oh, okay.
I call him, after that, but I call him Fermosis Jones.
Oh, I love that. Well, the Fermi paradox, if you don't know, it has to do with aliens.
Love an alien.
It is, in scientific terms, the lack of conclusive evidence of advanced extraterrestrial life and the high likelihood of its existence. So basically, like, there's been no scientific evidence proving that we've ever, you know, been in contact with aliens, but there's like a high likelihood that they exist. So where are they?
That makes sense.
That's the theory, right?
Where are they? That's literally the question we always ask.
That's the paradox. So, and if the conditions required for life to arise from non-living matter are as like permissive as the available evidence on Earth indicates, so like if it's as easy as it was on Earth, you know, then life would be so common that it would be so implausible that it would not be detected. So
yeah,
it's like that almost a crazy thing. Like, okay, if life is so easy to create, then where is all the life on the other planets?
Right.
So yeah, like a lot of people have thought about this over time. So we're going to get into it a little bit. Going back though, the paradox actually takes its name from the Italian-American physicist Enrico Fermi. So in summer of 1950, which honestly I would think this theory, I wouldn't think this theory would be in 1950. I would think the 70s.
Yeah, you're right. That's even more immediately suspicious.
Right. But anyway, so this is summer of 1950. He was talking about UFO reports and the possibility of faster than light travel with fellow physicists. So his coworkers and stuff, they're talking, walking to lunch, and they're sort of just talking about this idea. And yeah, he basically stated the question like, where are they? So and then that sort of became the Fermi paradox. So anyway, let's just dive into the scientific parts of it too. So our galaxy and the universe as a whole.
Okay. No big deal.
We're going yeah. We're just going out into space right now. So the universe as a whole, obviously tons of different solar systems, billions of stars, galaxies, like all this stuff. Never ending. So we're gonna bring it a little bit closer.
Okay.
And we're gonna talk about our local group, which is basically just our galaxy, the Milky Way.
Okay.
Because anything outside of that is like billions of years away because of the expansion of the universe.
Yeah.
So everything's getting farther and farther away. So anyway, our local group, the Milky Way, has up to 400 billion stars in it.
That is insane.
I know. And there's about 20 billion suns in the Milky Way.
That's so hard to imagine.
So like sun-like stars, just like our sun.
Yeah.
And 1/5 of those have planets in a habitable zone, like Earth. So it's like actually habitable by life. Okay. Like the same kind of conditions as we have. And then, so thinking about all of that math that we just did, if only 0.1% of planets in the Milky Way had life, then there would be 1 million planets with life on them in our galaxy. 1 million.
Oh. Okay, and people say aliens don't exist.
I'm saying, like,
guys, even 1% would be 1 million planets like ours, or similar.
0.1%.
0.1. God, that's even crazier.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
0.1%. So yeah, just all of that. And the Milky Way itself is over 13 billion years old. I can't even fathom that. But
I knew that, but I can't think about it either. I
know. To like wrap my mind around it, I have to like take away the billion and just go with like 13.
14 or 13.
So I'm like, okay. And apparently the first 1 to 3 billion years, things in the galaxy were exploding at a high rate.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of impossible for life to sustain itself because these planets kept getting hit by asteroids and stuff. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, let's knock out those years, right? And Earth was formed about 4 billion years ago. Mm-hmm. So if we take the time in the middle,
that's a lot of time.
The 1 to 3, and then the last 4. So I can't even do math.
Don't ever ask me to do math.
13 minus 7.
I think it's 6.
Is 6. So 6 billion years in between. Like, what happened during that time? I feel like there had to be some sort of life developing during that time. It's sort of, that's sort of what part of the theory
literally
says.
Longer than our Earth has been alive. A thing. It has, something has to exist in that time.
Right.
It would be insane to think that something didn't exist in that time.
Exactly, yeah. So, it's crazy. And also, there were probably some of the theorists and stuff, they say there's probably trillions of chances for life to develop, and it's just like, I don't know. It honestly kills me a little bit to not know the truth.
I know.
We never really will.
I know. Well, maybe. I feel like we're getting closer every day. Maybe.
Well, you can't know for definite though.
Definitely.
Either way, it'll just be like, oh, people run in the numbers, and maybe it'll be this, but
you're right. I want to know so bad. Okay, if this podcast is reaching anybody in a different universe, let us know.
Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy. Okay, so we're gonna get into there's 3 different categories of civilizations. Mm-hmm. There's a scale, the Kardashev scale. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
Do you know what type we are on the Kardashev scale?
No, I don't remember. Which I'm ashamed, because I did take a prehistoric life class in college, and I did absolutely need to know all of this.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But I learned it and then I forgot it.
Okay. Well, type 1, to qualify for type 1, the civilization has to be able to access the whole energy available on its planet. So that's natural resources, renewable energy, wind and solar. Mm-hmm. And also control nature and weather and volcanoes and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Control weather?
We'll use that for energy.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. And humanity today is almost there. So we're not even a type 1.
We're not even a type. We haven't got there because we're stupid.
If it goes up to 1, we're at 0.73.
Okay, we're 73% there.
Yeah, basically. And we will reach type 1 in a couple hundred more years, apparently.
Wow.
Approximately, yeah.
Maybe.
So, what types are above us then, Type 2 is capable of harnessing all of the energy of its home star.
What's our home star?
The sun.
Oh, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So
we have definitely not got there.
I know. Yeah, so it would do everything in type 1, but then also capable of harnessing the energy of the sun, which is that would be a crazy level of...
Yeah, I would be scared of that time. I'm scared of AI, so I would definitely be scared if we harnessed the energy of the sun.
See, and if you're harnessing the energy, it's not like you're going to destroy it per se, right?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you don't know.
I really don't know.
Well, okay. Type 3 would be a civilization that controls its whole galaxy.
Controls? Oh, that's crazy.
And the energy in the galaxy. And they would be gods to us right now.
Yeah, that's wild. So, I know we don't know that there are type 2 and type 3.
Yeah, but
how does somebody come up with that if we don't know that they exist? I'm just confused.
I mean, it's just it's a scale that was developed to measure.
Yeah, I mean, no, that makes sense.
Types of civilizations.
Yeah.
But So yeah, if we had the technology to travel through space for hundreds or thousands of years, we could like colonize the galaxy, which is crazy to say, colonizing the
We
galaxy.
do
Oh
not need
god.
to do that.
In 2 million years. So it would
Oh.
take 2 million years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, yes, that sounds like a long, long time. But if you think about how long the galaxy has been around,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, why is there no civilization out there that's done it already?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Right.
Because well, I understand it's hard. Okay, I'll give them that. Like
Yeah,
that's
but
not an
like
easy
if there was
task.
a type 3 civilization, like we would know about it, you know.
Yeah.
Unless they're still in the process of doing it.
Maybe they are like we are.
Yeah. No, I mean in the process of colonizing as we speak.
Like, yeah, maybe.
But I don't know.
I don't know either.
So yeah, it's crazy to think about because it's like, yes, it's like, okay, this stuff is like likely, quote unquote, but why have we not seen it then?
Right.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Crazy. Okay.
Wild.
So all of that information, take it in. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about. Mm-hmm. Honestly, thinking about space and like space travel makes me, honestly, it does help with anxiety. For me at least.
It makes my anxiety worse.
Okay. I think it could go either way, but for me, it's like, okay, my problems don't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
It does help sometimes. But anyway. Okay, let's get into there are some theories on like, the question, why haven't we seen them,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the biggest theory is that there are these like, quote, great filters.
Okay.
So, okay, the first part of that is that there are great filters and we've already passed through them and survived as a planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like, that would mean that maybe it is harder for life to develop than we really think, and we passed the challenge basically, and we're able to produce life on this planet. Mm-hmm. And every other planet can't really get that far.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Or maybe we got here the universe is like way more hostile with like meteors and things, and it was just not sustainable for other planets until our planet started developing. Mm-hmm. And like it was actually way more hostile in space than we really thought. So yeah. I said the 1 to 3 billion years, maybe it was more time than that.
Yeah.
And a lot of planets could not survive with life on them because they were just getting like destroyed with that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Or this kind of goes with the other part that I was saying, life is harder to develop, like evolution maybe is a filter, like getting to the stage that we're at now with life developing maybe is more advanced than we really think. Or maybe the conditions are somehow just right on this planet and we are the lucky ones. And we, like, theoretically, if you really think about it, we could be one of or the first civilization in the universe. Like, maybe there is life on other planets, but maybe it's just bacteria, and we're the first civilization.
Honestly, I think that would make the most sense for how stupid I think people are. Like, why did we make, like, we run off money? Like, there's a lot of issues,
Yeah, there are a lot of issues.
Which I'm like, I mean, I know there's no easy way of solving the world's problems, but I feel like what we're doing isn't helping.
Yeah. And I do have the next part of this theory does get into a lot of that, actually.
Nice.
So back to the great filters, like before I was saying that we already passed through the challenges, and we made it on the other end. Now, like, the other part of that is maybe there are some in the future ahead of us still.
Mm-hmm. But they're still not there. Is that what you're saying?
Like, we're...
Like, they're above us, but they're still not.
So, okay,
like, what they're doing?
The kind of challenges that I'm talking about are, like, kind of self-destructive challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's something out there that ends like all civilizations, like some sort of idea or something.
For sure.
Things like these could be nuclear war, climate change, technology, or something that just is our own destruction, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And this could be like this is an idea that could go for like any civilization out there, not just Earth.
Yeah.
Nuclear war, like if you have space travel, then you've harnessed the energy to make a nuclear bomb. So that means it's, you know, possible on your planet. So no matter what planet, it could be possible.
Mm-hmm.
In theory. And climate change, same type of thing. Like, the ways that we are destroying our climate with, you know, energy and, you know, just all of the bad things we're doing to hurt the climate. They can be done on theoretically any planet that's similar to ours. And technology, you know, as a civilization develops, it gets more and more technology. So that can always be its downfall. So, like, thinking of these things, like, this could be our, like, great filter that makes it so we can't get past the type 1 civilization.
Yeah.
Which is so scary to think about.
That is horrifying.
Yes. So, yeah. And all I can think about is, like, nuclear war, climate change, AI, like all of these things are like very possible to end us.
Yeah, and are happening right now.
Yes.
So, scary.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. So it's like, it's not necessarily a law of nature, but it would be a law of societies that these things could happen just as a society grows. So maybe it's that most civilizations do not get past this stage that we're at currently, and if we can't go out there and colonize all the planets, then obviously none of these other ones were able to either.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes the most sense.
It would be crazy though, thinking about that, like how, I don't know. I'm just thinking of alternate realities where stuff like this exists on a different planet.
I know. Like, imagine people podcasting on another planet.
I know.
I want to listen to somebody, like an alien podcast. Are you kidding me?
Right. I know.
But it's also scary to think that we're the smartest. Like, if that's true.
I hope that's not the case.
Oh, I hope that's not true. Please do not let that be true.
Yeah.
But if it is true, that's horrifying. Like, that's even scarier to think about, like, if we are the farthest. I would rather not be. And I don't know how that's somehow not scarier.
I know.
But it is. So.
Okay. So there are a couple other theories. One, maybe we're just alone.
Don't like
that. And
it's
just us out there.
That's crazy.
Because we, like, seriously, like, obviously, you know, there's alien sightings. People say that they've been visited by aliens. There's no actual scientific physical evidence, like definite evidence that we have.
Yeah.
So it's like, what if it is just us? I don't know.
I don't want it to just be us.
Another theory though, that's kind of the opposite of this, is the zoo theory. That we are animals in a zoo. And other planets, other civilizations out there, they don't interact with us, and they just kind of watch us and track us, and they're like, what are the humans gonna do on their planet? How are they gonna mess it up?
Yeah, that's kind of what I personally believe.
Yeah.
But because I think that they're like laughing at us. They're like, haha.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing. And like, also I wonder, like, if there are civilizations that are like type 2, type 3, what if they're like, obviously they're smarter than us. Yeah. What if they're smart enough to hide from us?
That is a theory too. Yeah.
I just thought about that.
They're smart enough to like have devices that could come and monitor us, but we wouldn't even notice them.
Yeah. And like also hide like their advancement from us. Like maybe they're not whatever stage 3 or whatever, like controlling people in the universe, but they can still see us. Ooh, that's scary. Hi, aliens, if you're watching.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess the biggest question is life extremely rare or is it just hard to detect? You know? I don't know. And are other civilizations out there looking for us too? Like, how do you think it's crossed their minds?
If there are other civilizations, it has definitely crossed their minds.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that at all. If there are.
Mm-hmm.
And if they haven't thought about it, they're crazy too.
Yeah. Oh, I do have another thing. Like, if there was a point made in one of the videos I was watching on this, that if most civilizations are like their own destruction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that kind of means most civilizations are violent. So
yeah, because I was gonna say, like, isn't that kind of well, if you think not even like just civilizations like in our world that have ended, all of them essentially have been because of war.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like if we just theoretically, if we didn't have war, theoretically
we'd be type 3 by now.
We might be a little bit more advanced.
Yeah. So
it would take everybody being on at least similar pages.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the only way to advance.
Exactly. That's what I literally have right here.
Yeah.
That violent civilizations may not be able to live long enough to like for advanced space travel.
I mean, that makes complete sense.
So any aliens out there might be just nice.
Yeah, so maybe they're not evil.
Good to think about. Like if you're advanced enough that you have intergalactic space travel or like interstellar space travel, I don't know. Then like maybe you guys are nice. Like
yeah, I mean that's a good way to think about it, to not be scared of aliens.
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
Makes me fear them less.
But I mean,
if
you do think about it,
it's a theory.
Well, there's that, and also maybe they all just get along, and maybe
yeah, I didn't say they like all agree. They just have to agree enough, you know.
They all get along with each other, but maybe not with us. Is what I'm kind of saying.
Scary.
But anyway, that's the Fermi theory, Fermi paradox. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about.
It really breaks my brain to think about this kind of stuff, but I like thinking about it because I can really see all versions of it being true, except for the one that we're alone. And if we are, that's just really hard for me to believe. Personally.
I know. Honestly, thinking about that makes my head hurt because I'm like,
it sends me.
It's so big.
Yeah.
Like the universe is so big and we're just by ourselves.
Like it's actually eternal. It's infinite.
What if, okay, now thinking about it, what if, okay.
She said, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
The Milky Way, our galaxy. What if we're the only ones in our galaxy and the other life is in the other galaxies billions and billions of years away?
Yeah, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but right now,
but they don't know how to time travel.
Is not possible because it would take billions of years to even get out there. Yeah. So, like, how would we even do that?
Time travel.
Oh, right.
Obviously. No, I really think that's what it's going to take to solve all these problems because that is the problem why we, hit the microphone. But that's the reason why we can't, see further is because it's so far. But if we could time travel 2 million years in advance, not that I would do that, but like if somebody did that, maybe they could see.
I guess.
You know?
But you still need to like travel.
I mean, time travel isn't real, but like theoretically,
time travel and also like distance
physically
travel. Yeah, physical too.
Well, I think that's the point of time travel, right? Like, you don't ever end up where you like physically are. Well, maybe in some movies, but like, I don't know. Just theoretically, time travel would solve that problem.
All right. Okay. All right. Well.
Wow, Fermi. Wow, Fermi.
Moving away from that. What do you have to tell us about today?
So sorry we're back. Yeah, we did tell you guys that this is our first video podcast. You had to expect we were going to run into some technical difficulties. I do apologize about that. But so if you're watching this and you like just saw a big chunk of it like without video, apologies, but we're not re-recording it.
Yeah, we're sorry. We're sorry.
We'll figure it out in a later episode. But we're back. So hello, welcome back. And where we left off was I was going to tell you my story for the day. And I have for you
Mm-hmm.
the legend of the Nevada State Prison. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, a prison story.
We love a good prison story. Okay, so this place is located in Carson City, Nevada.
Okay.
I hope it's Nevada. If it's Nevada, I'm sorry, but I say Nevada. And it in Carson City, Nevada, sits the Nevada State Prison.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, like the phrase, like if these walls could talk, is really how this prison is like described, because there was a lot of stuff that went down here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So for 150 years, starting even before Nevada was a real actual state, this
Wait.
prison played a big role.
It was there before it was a state.
It was. It was. Okay. It played a big role in the history of the whole entire state of Nevada. And yeah, so not only did this prison like hold the prisoners and protect the city, but it also influenced architecture in the city, and brought some really historical events to the city as well.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, lots to dig into, so let's just jump on in.
Mm-hmm.
In December of 1861, Nevada's first territorial legislature met at this man Abraham Curry's hotel. He owned Warm Springs Hotel in Carson City, and that's where they met to discuss making Nevada an actual state.
Oh, okay.
And here, they actually decided to create a board of prison commissioners, and they all just decided, like, Jim, Bob, Joe, y'all are going to be the prison people. And they decided to lease the property that was right beside the hotel, and that's where they were going to build the prison. So they did that. And Abraham Curry, the man who owned the hotel, he was actually appointed the first warden of the prison in that meeting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what's funny is that the land was not bought to build the prison, actually, first. That's not what it was originally bought for.
Okay.
The land, it has natural hot springs and easily quarried sandstone.
Wait, what?
So that's why this man had bought the land before.
So it was going to be like a spa or something?
Right, like something, or like also like a mine, like both, right. A mine and a spa.
Because I was like, natural hot springs, like does not sound like a spa.
Definitely a spa. And then the quarry, a little mine.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it could be used for multiple things, but it's used for a prison.
Instead, prison. Yep. It's crazy. So, yeah, that obviously did not stop them from building the prison. And twice, actually, fast forwarding a little bit, in both 1867 and 1870, only 3 years apart, remember that. Okay. The prison actually burned down in both of those years. Yeah.
There's always a fire.
Always a fire. And so after it burned down the second time in 1870, they were like, you know what? Stop. We're not building it the same way that we did. We're going to mine the quarry. And they did. And, the prison was still there. But they just, like, beside it was this giant hole in the ground where they were getting this sandstone. And they used that sandstone to actually build the prison that still stands today. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. Yep. So, like I said, the sandstone did come from the prison's own quarry, and the sandstone look of the prison is what, like, led the architecture to be mostly all the buildings in Nevada were sandstone at the time in this area, and most of them still are today. So they have, like, a very specific look to them, and it's, like, it's really cool.
So the prison kind of, was the first?
Yeah, it was, because the quarry was on the prison grounds.
Oh my god.
So yeah, they were like, let's build the prison. And then they were like, well, first of all, it holds in all the prisoners, and it's like stable, and it stays up, and it doesn't catch on fire. So
true.
All the buildings.
So people are like, oh my gosh, this is a great way to build my house. And then they build their house the same way the prison looks.
And I would too, honestly. But it's like a cute prison. Like, I mean, it's not cute, but like, I don't know. I like sandstone.
Right. Okay.
It's a vibe.
All right.
Yeah. But of course, as I'm sure you can imagine, as they're mining the quarry for the sandstone, they also find some things.
Right.
Okay. They find fossils and fossilized tracks that came from really, really old animals. Okay?
Wait, what?
Including animals that don't exist anymore. Okay? We're talking the woolly mammoth, bison, horse, deer, regular, big tooth
Regular.
cats.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
in Nevada?
Yeah. Yep. Also, this is the craziest part to me. Okay, let me lead by this. I'm not going to lead by telling you what it actually is. When they first found these fossils and these fossilized tracks, they said, oh my God, we have evidence of giants, human giants walking around.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Were they sloths?
They are giant sloth bones. Yep.
Yeah.
They are indeed.
I don't know how I knew that, but
Yep.
I feel like I've seen pictures of those before.
And it's crazy because they were only kind of like recently discovered as giant sloths. So like for a long time they were like,
people
oh my God,
they
like,
were giants.
Giants. Which I mean, personally, I feel like giant humans and giant sloths both are scary.
Yeah.
Honestly, giant humans are less scary than giant sloths.
Yeah, well, I mean, giant sloths would be slow.
Yeah, but they have claws.
Yeah, but like, how are they gonna get you? They're so slow.
I feel like they're slow because they're small, but if they were big, I feel like their arms would be moving kind of faster.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Regardless, I'd be scared of a giant sloth.
I mean, I probably would too. You're right.
I really would be. But yeah, wild. So anyway, the land that the prison is built on obviously has stories, but what about the prison itself? It has had many, many sensational events happen over time. In 1871, only 1 year after it burnt down and the sandstone was built, there was a mass escape from the prison.
Oh my God. Wait.
They were like, all right, guys, we got a hole in the sandstone. It only happened this once.
Oh my God. So, that's crazy.
I think it was more like the guards failing than like they're breaking out of the building. Yeah. But 29 prisoners escaped. I don't know about if they were found or not. So wild. Yep. And so anyway, moving on. In 1873, a man named Lieutenant Frank Denver, he actually was the warden at the time, and he was like, I'm not quitting. He refused to relinquish his position as the warden. And it was insane. Actually, he refused to step down, so much so that it took 60 soldiers and some artillery to convince him to give it up. It was serious. He was like, I'm not leaving this job. And they were like, it's your time, sir. And he was like, I'm not doing it.
Okay, why are they forcing him that
He was old.
Oh.
It was just time. Plus, like, they replaced them every so often, like back in the day. That's just their rules. And they were like, you got to go. And he wasn't having it. So it took 60 people to get him out. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I would never want to keep my job that bad. Let me just tell you what.
Oh, no.
No. Anyway, from 1932 to 1967, so fast forwarding a little bit in time, the prison was home to the one prison casino that was known at the time. So up until, 1932, 1967, it was the only known casino that was like allowed kind of in the prison. And the inmates were allowed to gamble at table games and...
Wait, that's insane. Wait,
I know.
What?
I know.
I didn't even realize.
Because, like, obviously prisoners gamble, but, like, it's not allowed. They have to secretly do it. But this was, like, public casino. Like, you're allowed. And they were so allowed to be, having this casino that they actually... Because, obviously, they don't have money, right? Like, they're in prison.
Yeah.
So, they actually created their own prison currency.
Oh, God.
The prison dollar. That's not what they called it. They called it the Nevada State Prison Dollar. So, essentially... the same thing. Okay. And they made dollars, $5, and coins that were all
actually made them.
Oh, physically. Yeah. Like, and that's what they would use to trade in the casino.
What?
Yeah. So we will post pictures of the currency on Instagram, so definitely be sure to check that out.
What would they use? Could they use it to buy anything?
No. I mean, with each other, like within the prison. Like they're like, just imagine like some guy has ramen and some guy doesn't have like commissary. Okay. But if he had the prison dollar,
yeah, he could trade. They can trade with each other.
Yeah. Totally.
I see.
Totally. So, as I'm sure you can guess, executions were also a part of this prison's history. From the start of the prison, executions were first only done by hanging. But as we know, time goes on. We don't really think hanging is the best way to execute people anymore. So on September 8, 1905, they executed an inmate by firing squad. They said, new execution alert.
Oh,
okay,
my
not funny.
God.
It's not funny. But that was actually the one and only time that they used firing squad. They were like, that's too.
Wait, they did it once.
They did it once.
Actually,
they were
we're
like,
not doing that again.
Listen, we're not down for the hanging. We're not really down for the firing squad. So they're like, new execution alert. They next bring and introduce the gas chamber execution.
No.
Yep. This started in 1924, and unfortunately, the first one in the gas chamber, it took 2 very gnarly attempts to get it to work. Yeah, it's really bad. And it wasn't until 1985 that lethal injection became the standard for execution here. So essentially, they were kind of just killing people however they wanted to kill people until 1985, where they were like, it's got to be lethal injection. Yeah. And actually, it was Nevada's only execution chamber until the year 2016. So that means another one was built in 2016. Know that.
In the same prison or in a different?
No, in a different prison, but in Nevada.
So it was... Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. And there were 32 gas chamber executions at Nevada State Prison.
Ugh.
Yep.
I just hate it.
I hate it so bad. So on May 12th, 2012, the prison, as a prison anyway, closed. So it's, still open. I'll get into that. But as a prison, it stopped being a prison in 2012. But today, work has been done to preserve this historical landmark.
Okay.
It is open now for tours. And due to its history and all the death, as I'm sure you could have guessed, this place is very haunted. Super duper haunted.
Yes.
It is actually considered to be one of Nevada's most haunted buildings. Oh. There are countless stories of this place, both haunted and just regular scary. So that's crazy. So we won't get into all the stories, but let me tell you a few things that happened here.
I'm excited to hear about the ghosts.
They are crazy. Of course, we got to start. We have the typical strange sounds. They'll come typically from people visiting the jail, and they'll say that they can hear knocks, whistles, loud bangs, and blood-curdling screams.
Oh, no.
So lovely.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's so sad. And so visitors and workers both claim to hear the sound of disembodied heavy footsteps walking up and down the hall, but nobody's there. Yeah, and obviously they're hearing the people walking down the hall and nobody is walking. They can see the hall. But,
my God.
Yeah. And that happens when people, like visitors, are there, and it also happens when it's just the workers.
Great.
Yeah. And so when people hear these footsteps, they claim to feel a very dreadful energy, like just dread wash over them. And that's really sad because it's probably just the prisoners, like feeling sad.
Yeah.
Horrible. Yep. Many, many EVPs have been caught here. And if you don't know what an EVP is, it is an electronic voice phenomenon. And I'm actually going to play one of the EVPs for you right now.
Oh, okay.
Because, they posted it online. So I'm going to play it once, and then I'm going to tell you what it says, and then I'm going to play it again.
Okay.
So, okay.
I'll
get
try
ready.
To make it out.
She saw, this is an example.
Okay. So obviously there's a tour guide talking, right?
Right, yeah.
You can hear the man talking.
Yes.
And in the background, after he says whatever he says at first, you can hear, get out of here. And I will admit, I can at least hear it, like when I'm listening, not in this microphone. So let me play it again.
She saw, this is an example.
Oh.
Okay, I heard it. I heard it
that time. The first time, I didn't even hear it when I just played it. But
see,
it was like, get out of here. That's
I
exactly
think
what
the
it sounded
first time
like.
I wasn't expecting the tour guide to be there, but
yeah, I should have said
but listening
that
back, I was I heard
Yeah, we're
that.
gonna listen to it one more time.
Okay, one more time.
And the get out of here is kind of towards the end of the clip, so.
Okay.
She's all right. This is an example.
Honey. I had to play that one for you guys because that one's all too real. That's horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
So, EVPs like that are captured all the time, almost daily here, when people are clearly not talking. And of course, we have to kind of take it with a grain of salt and believe these people who went on this tour that nobody else was talking, like, at the time. Because it's not a video, it's just an audio clip.
Right.
So, like, no, I guess we can't prove that somebody's not just sitting there being like, get out of here. But it also sounded like you could hear the way the man was talking. It sounded different, It was like a little bit more close to the, like, that voice sounded closer to whatever was recording than that man was. So I don't know about that, but I don't like that. So creepy. Moving on. The 3rd floor cell block and the death chamber seem to be the two...
Okay, I'm sorry, but the death chamber just... Oh my god.
Yeah, so the death chamber, that's what they call the gas chamber. There.
Oh god. I can't even...
Yeah, and if you could even guess, the death chamber and the 3rd floor cell block are the most haunted, obviously, in the jail. Yep, and the prison actually calls these the hot spots of the place. And so when people enter either location, they claim to have difficulty breathing and a sense of urgency to leave the area immediately. Hate that. People also describe a dark and foreboding feeling associated with the gas chamber. That, I mean, if we're being honest, how could you not feel that way if you're stepping foot into a gas chamber? Like, no matter what, horrible things happen in there,
Right.
You're gonna feel, it's gonna feel heavy, even if there's not a ghost. So, yeah. But the execution room, it actually sits just like it did when it was in use. The restraints are still in there. And so that place, even looking at pictures of it, just gave me a horrible feeling. I would not want to go in that room.
Okay, see, and now why am I like trying to relate this back to my story of like different types of civilizations? Because like the fact that we ever did / still do this type of stuff as a civilization is crazy to me.
For real. For real. It's...
Oh my god.
It's wild. It truly is. Like, it leaves me speechless to think about it.
I know.
That we can do that to people, no matter how bad they are. But
yeah.
Anyways, moving on to the 3rd floor cell block. This area seems to be where people will see and even get video evidence of shadow figures.
Oh.
And then, like, when they see the shadow figure, they will also hear whispering.
Oh.
Love a good whisper. And I mean, obviously, we even heard whispering in that one EVP.
Yeah.
So, spooky ooky. This floor, the 3rd floor, it apparently held high-profile prisoners, and that included one of the most infamous high-profile prisoners of the prison entire existence. His name was Carol Cole. He was a horrific serial killer, and he's horrible. And he was executed here at this prison. He mainly targeted women, both in life and in death.
Okay.
Any women who dare to step foot inside of his cell are said to feel complete darkness in the room, and not many women actually spend a lot of time in his cell. It's really apparently that bad. So, great. And actually, this man was the first inmate to be killed by lethal injection here. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fun fact, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I guess.
Supposed. I did say that you could tour the Nevada State Prison today. You can actually do multiple different kinds of tours. You can do historical tours, ghost tours, and even paranormal investigations.
Okay.
Wink, wink. The tours are typically 90 minutes, and they post their openings online. They don't have a lot of openings. Normally, they only do them on Saturdays.
Okay.
So it's only like a couple times a year, but they do it. So that's cool. And they do both day and night tours. But they do say, even if you do a day tour, don't expect to not experiencing something paranormal. Like, you will, day or night, they said. So that's crazy. People have said they have caught EVPs, orbs, and even shadow figures in the daytime tours.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
horrifying.
I feel like this would be so much scarier than the other prison tour we just went on in Charleston.
Oh,
And I
I
know
was
we
like,
did talk about it.
in my head, I was even like, what prison tour did we
I
go?
know, because it was barely a prison tour. Like,
Yeah.
we talked about how, like, they kind of
They renovated it and
renovated it and made it not even scary anymore.
Not scary at all. Yeah,
But
this
anyway,
would be horrifying.
This, yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. But obviously, you know, the night tours are said to be much, much scarier.
Mm-hmm.
So, wild. But not many people actually have toured this place. Like I said, they don't offer many tours throughout the year. It's like, you know, just a couple weekends out of the year. And fun fact, they only built up this place and kind of restored this place in 2021.
Oh.
So that's as long as the tours have been going. Not that many people have toured this place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. And tours for the 2025 season are available now. They refuse to take any more than 15 people in a group, which I think is really perfect amount of people. And it's only $20 a person, no matter which one you do. So a steal, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I do know that this prison is very far from us, but I do actually think that I would want to go here. You know, it's a lot of history.
Yeah.
It's really cool. You know, add the ghosts on top, my kind of event, you know.
Yeah. See, this one I would actually be scared to do. But
I would be scared.
I would maybe do it.
Yeah, I would be scared for sure. No doubt in my mind.
Do it.
Yeah. So I will end with this. There is actually a YouTube video, of course. So if you listen to this podcast, you might know I love Sam and Colby so much.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sam and Colby for real.
Shout out.
But so it's not actually their page. They did a collab with a page called Project Fear, which apparently, what's the TV show that's similar to that name? They investigated like Shawnee.
Oh my
Destination Fear?
Yes, Destination Fear.
So it's the same people, but this is a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they did a YouTube video with Sam and Colby where they go to the Nevada State Prison. It's a great video, honestly. But the thing that shocked me the most was how much was happening to them before they even started the video. So they're like, always when they go, they meet with the people. And it's not like haunted vibes at first. You know, the lights are all on.
Right.
The lights are on. They're sitting, you know, at this table just like talking to these people, meeting the tour guides and stuff.
Okay.
And things are happening. Doors, you're watching them slam. Lights going off. Shadow figures everywhere. I'm like, what?
Oh my god. What?
And of course it's a YouTube video, of course. But like, I don't know. That was crazy. I was like, what? And like everybody was shocked. Oh, and I really do. I don't know why, but I believe Sam and Colby.
I mean,
genuinely. And so I don't even know, you know, Project Fear them. I don't know about them. But I believe Sam and Colby. And they were genuinely scared. So, you know, go check out that YouTube video if you're interested. Dang, but I actually really do believe that this place is haunted. So
it seems like it would be.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the legend of the Nevada State Prison.
Oh my gosh. And that EVP, I'm thinking about it.
Let me play it one more time. Just in case. Just in case somebody, you know, wants it one more time.
Just in case.
Okay, here we go.
So, you know, this is an example.
No, I actually hate it. I hate it so bad. Especially like I'm listening in these headphones and it's so loud in my ears.
Yeah.
Because when I was listening to it before, I was listening to it out of my computer.
Yeah.
I could still hear it, but in the ears,
Yeah.
Let me give it to you in case you didn't hear it. Get out of here.
Oh my god.
That's a little ASMR for you guys.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. But definitely go check out our Instagram to see pictures from our stories this week.
And
we'll have
also,
to post a picture of an alien.
You know what else you'll see pictures of?
What?
Us at the Trisha Paytas
Eras Tour. We are in fact going to see Trisha Paytas' Eras Tour in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am dressing up as Frenemies Trisha.
Yeah, I'm dressing up as Tavern Trisha.
Love. Welcome, traveler.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so by the time this episode comes out, we will have already gone to the show.
Yeah, so update next week.
We'll see some pictures. Go look.
Surprise, I have a wig. So I guess you'll have to wait and see that.
Love that.
But, you know, Other than that,
I
I don't really have much else. You?
No, nothing else.
Me neither. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you for watching if you did. Sorry for our technical difficulties.
I was gonna say thank you for hanging on if you even though we had some technical difficulties.
For sure. We'll get better in the future. Sorry, it's hard. What, like it's hard? It is, actually. It is. It always is. But anyways, I suppose we will see you guys next week.
Okay, cue the music.